The Center for Applied Linguistics provides a list of two-way bilingual programs that are offered in the U.S. They use the term two-way bilingual programs instead of dual language programs. A total of 389 programs are offered in 361 schools. What is most noticeable is that 93% of most of the programs are Spanish-English programs, and only 7% of them are in other languages. This number is relatively quite small, considering that 25% of school children are non-Spanish speakers, as shown in slide 5 previously. From the high percentage of the Spanish dual language program, one might quickly assume that U.S. bilingualism is basically Spanish-English bilingualism. However, we need to look at other types of language programs and offerings before making such an assumption. In order to have a more comprehensive picture of U.S. bilingualism, as shown in this slide, we also should look at foreign language and heritage language programs. Foreign language programs is what most schools and colleges offer. Heritage programs is for those who want to learn their ancestors' language. It could be the language spoken at home and or spoken in their ethnic community. The content and forms of these programs vary across schools. Yet, generally speaking, unlike bilingual programs that deal with language and other subject areas such as math, science, and social studies, the foreign and heritage language programs focus on language and culture. Now let's look at some data. According to the MLA survey report released December 8, 2010, enrollments in foreign languages at colleges have continued to grow over the past decade. Enrollment grew by 6% between 2006 and 2009. What is interesting is that enrollments are diversifying to include an increasingly broad range of language studies. For instance, enrollment in Arabic language courses grew by 46% between 2006 and 2009. Also, registering significant increases in enrollment in the 2009 survey are Korean up to 19%, Chinese up 18%, and Japanese up 10%. While enrollment in college courses has grown, according to a report by Nancy, Rod, and Ingrid Profile, the percentage of elementary and middle schools offering foreign language instructions decreased significantly from 30% to 25% of all elementary schools, and from 75% to 58% of all middle schools. The decline at the elementary level occurred mainly in public schools. Another interesting observation is the disparity between public and private elementary school language offerings. In 2008, the percentage of private elementary schools offering foreign language instruction is more than 3 times that of public elementary schools. Now let's look at the changes by language. As you will see here, unlike offerings at college level, the teaching of French, German, and Japanese decreased at both elementary and secondary levels. However, like offerings at the college level, the teaching of Arabic and Chinese increased at both the elementary and secondary levels. Now we have examined the foreign language programs. Let's look at some data regarding heritage language programs and offerings. This will give another picture of U.S. bilingualism. The Center for Applied Linguistics and the National Foreign Language Center have joined forces in an effort to overcome the neglect of heritage languages in the U.S. According to them, having recognized a critical need for individuals who have a high proficiency in both English and one or more additional languages, they seek to conserve and develop the heritage resources of the country through information exchange, research, and policy development. One of the activities is to compile a database of heritage language programs across the U.S. As of May 2011, the Center lists 353 programs that are classified in terms of program, types, language, city, and state. This represents 46 languages. Here from this slide, 3 interesting observations are made. Spanish comprises 14% of the total, while Chinese comprises 38%. This number is very interesting in that usually Spanish ranks the first in school and college offerings, as we saw before. Second observation, among 5 types of a program, namely community-based, school-based, higher education, summer program, organization-based, it is the community-based program that is most noticeable. It comprises 60% of the total programs. Third observation, while Chinese is mostly community-based program, 77%, Spanish is mostly school-based and college-based program. Given that this paper gives a perspective of East Asian communities, it is worthwhile to note the number of Japanese and Korean heritage programs reported here, which is quite small in number. Only 4 programs in Japanese and 5 in Korean. Here, interested people will note that the number does not reflect the whole picture of the heritage programs. This is true, given that this is not a survey result like those of the previous data.